You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my show. I decided that I don't know, I'm using both mouses. I probably shouldn't be, but whatever. So hello everyone, welcome back to my show, the Sean W. Show. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. I always hit that button. I don't know why I always do that. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. I love you all. Let me pull this up. Y'all know I like to put on the screen what we're gonna be talking about. Boom. So hello everyone and welcome back to my show. I love y'all. I hope you guys can hear me a little better. I'm working at a bunch of stuff here. Oh well, deal with it. I really don't care. I'm amazing. So I'll be worried about all of it. I don't care. So, but I'm here. So let's get right into the title. Brother Polight, okay, is finished. Did Brother Polight plead guilty to CH0M0 charges against 14-year-old black girl? Okay. So we're gonna get into that. We absolutely are. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Okay. Do that. It's free. It's already over 200 of y'all in here. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. I deserve it, okay? I deserve. So please hit the like, please. So, and now we're going to get into Polight because we've talked about Brother Polight before. Brother Shaba Polight. We've talked about him before. Now, if you don't know who he is, we're going to get into a little background of who he is. If you don't, this is him with the fedora. And this picture in the thumbnail that we have, he is very ugly. That's what that word, and he is very so much giving a Polight Shaba ranks is what that word. He is a bendejo, absolutely bendejo. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know it's not nice. So yeah, bendejo. Yes. So this bat in the photograph up here with this red fedora on, given fedora's a very bad name, absolutely more nose than face, has decided that he gonna touch on churn. That's what that word. Now this innocent, young, beautiful black girl, gone girl. We're gonna keep her name anonymous. We don't need to say her name for what, okay? She was 14 years old when this happened. So we're gonna get into that. He is big in the conscious community, in the overly masculine community, all of that. Red pill, blue pill, gray pill, ugly pill. That sector. He over there with with the guys that are too straight to function. So it's always something wrong with y'all over there in that sector. What y'all call yourselves, because y'all call yourselves a lot of things. The Matrix, the Manosphere, the this, the that. Y'all got a lot. But it's always something wrong with one of y'all. Y'all notice that? It's always something wrong with one of y'all, but y'all be talking about the gays. But yeah, it's always something wrong with one of y'all. Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. Weird. Polight, weird. Nature Boy, weird. Like all of y'all are weird. All of y'all are weird. We do these multiple wives and all of that. And y'all having multiple wives a bad name. Like all of y'all just ruining stuff. Y'all just ruining stuff. So let's get into who Brother Polight is before we break down everything else that done happened. I keep using both mouses. I don't know why I keep doing that. So we're gonna get into who he is. Let's do that. Let's start off with that because there's some people who don't know who he is at all. So let's get into that. Who is Brother Polight? Okay, Wiki biography, age, wives, net worth, and arrested. Now this is ugly nigga in the background, right here. That's him right there. Ugh, ugh. So that's him. Chomo, chomo alert, chomo alert, chomo alert. And the chomo is it's a prison term. They don't reuse that out here in these good streets, but I use it, and that's what that word chomo is when they touching on churn and stuff like that. So when they go to prison, which he on his way to, they be the first pickings. Okay, chomo, child. Okay, isn't okay, that's what they. Yes, absolutely. AKA monster. Is what they are, monsters. That's what that word. So that's what he is. He is a chomo, and that's what we're gonna call him because that's what that word. So so let's get right into it. Let's get into who this ugly motherfucker is. So a summary of Brothers Polight. Now he was born in 1983 in Brooklyn, New York, ugly as hell. Ever since he was a child. He is an ex-convict. Music. So a former gang member, author, actor, motivational speaker, and spiritualist. That's what that word. Now he done mentor celebrities such as Meta World Peace. Okay. Now he was sitting over there whispering in Meta World East, and Meta World East, I guess he chomo whispering in your ear. So that's what that word. Let me get who I done heard the name before. Meta World Baby Shay, but I have no idea exactly who that word. I've heard of him though. I've seen his name a few times. So gays. So leader of spiritual community entitled New Covenant. My fault. New Covenant. Cause girl. He has 4 wives. And is rumored to be looking to wed 2 more. His net worth is $4 million, dedicated to posting updates on his public profiles and engaging with fans, all while being ugly as hell. So now let's get into who that word. So now who is Brother Polight? He was born Michael Novak under the sign of Leo on the 10th of August in 1983 in Brownsville section of Brooklyn, New York City, USA. Ugly as hell. Okay, can't forget that. They left that out. Brother Polight is a $35, $30, $40. $35. Wait a minute, I'm to be 35. I don't look like that. Lord, how am I going to go back to the top of this screen? He 35? Well, woo. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp when they're trying to get that money for the real. Because, oh my word. Back into the article. That's a hard 35, Lord. So, let's, okay, my fault. Let's go back to right here. Okay, now he'd have been a former gang member, author, actor, motivational speaker. That's probably why he's been a lot of stuff. He is perhaps best known for working with spreading his religious beliefs across a number of platforms, as well as mentoring a few celebrities such as Metta World. Now, Metta World Peace, now y'all said in the chat, that's Ron Artest's dumbass. He changed his name to Metta World Peace. Ron Artest played for the Lakers and a few other, and 75 other teams. Move right along. Mentored an idiot, but okay, whatever. He has also had a number of other successes across the course of his sometimes lucrative writing career in an unspecified date. Okay, so now he done went around writing stuff for people, and all of that stuff. He done mentored Ron Artest, aka Metta World P. Okay, black men start following him in a flock, okay? Because he got 4 wives, and most black men got 3 baby mamas and a fiance. So they feel like he they leader. And that's what that word. We all want to aspire to be more like this ugly one. We all want to aspire to be more like him. That's what that word. So a lot of blacks, okay? A lot of blacks, a lot of black men start following this nigga, okay? And trying to push his ideology, Lord, onto these women out here. Instead of them feeling like, okay, you ain't got to be no single mother. You can be with me, and we can also have 3 more people. And we can all get married, and I can share all of y'all, but all of y'all belong to me. Y'all ain't allowed to do nothing else or nothing like that. That's what that word. When I come in here and I tell all of y'all to toot that thing up, I'm going to make a roll. All of y'all going to toot that thing up and I'm going to make a roll because I bought all y'all these fake purses and dresses, and all of this stuff. Now get your ass up and hold my hand. Okay? It's what that word. So a lot of these other niggers, because, you got a lot of niggers, okay, a lot of idiots, that want to follow somebody, because I will give Polight this. Although he's ugly, he is intelligent, okay? I call that ugly links, okay? Because you're ugly, but you're intelligent, okay? Okay? Like Albert Einstein, what's cute about him? Nothing, okay? That's ugly in gents, okay? So he got a little bit of ugly in gents, all right? So he ugly, but he a little piece of intelligent. Just a little piece of it. Very so much ugly. So, but just a little piece of ugly. Just, not all, but just a little piece. So, but he teaching all these idiots, these men that watch just whatever. And they feeling like they get to do what they see him do, but they dumb while doing it. Okay? So they bring other women and stuff like that into their relationships and stuff, but still cheat. It's weird. That it's just dumb. Then they lose their job, all of that stuff, but still think they're supposed to keep all the women and stuff. Just dumb. So they think that they can be what they see with that work with him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all get that? Y'all is welcome. So gay. So that's the people that follow him. Idiots. Okay? Is what that word. So but let's keep going. Why not? Why not? Let's keep going. So yeah, so he's a writer, a motivational speaker, among other things. So that's how he make his money, you know, and whatnot. He has multiple platforms, IG. He do a lot of fake preaching on there. YouTube, he over here false prophet preaching. And he also false prophet preaching in books. And all of that stuff. He lying on paper as well. He lying in black and white. So that's what that word. So now let's get into the rest of his life, okay? So we got a little piece of who he is. Now, Polight was raised in his birthplace up to an early point in his childhood, okay? His father, an unknown name and profession, who passed away when Polight was 8 years old. Well, how the hell y'all know he passed away if y'all don't know what it is? Y'all know nothing about this man, but y'all know he dead. It's given, that's what all he know. I ain't know nothing about him, I know that he dead. Is what that word. So yeah, we have no idea what he did for a living. We have no idea what his name is, but we do know that he died. What? How you know it is if you don't know his name or his profession? How you find it? Tribune. Look, I'm tired of finding. I'm tired of finding misprints. So, who passed away when Polight was 8 years old. And he only met his mother when he was 17, a week before her passing away. Ooh, that'd be so sad if he ain't touched this little girl. That'd be so sad. I don't care about none of that. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. It don't explain what you did to that baby. It don't explain what you did to that 14-year-old girl. Because mommy and daddy and the police, okay, that would have been sad if you ain't touched that girl. Sorry, that's the most sad. You tried it. His earliest interests were heavily influenced by local street gangs, since his father wasn't there to make sure he didn't spend time with destructive antisocial groups. Okay. When Polight was 13, he had a gold chain stolen by a member of the Bloods, which in turn caused him to join the Crips. Crips, that's okay with y'all? Crips, you know he was using y'all? Crips. He wasn't really down with y'all. He wasn't really down with y'all. He only was with y'all because the other people stole his chain. So the only way for him to get it big is by joining y'all. It's like, look, I need y'all to help me get my chain back. Is what that word, because y'all don't like them, right? Or do I need to go to somewhere else? Because I need my chain back, okay? That's what that word. So Polight is a punk. You a punk. You a punk. You ain't no real thug. She said he want to be. Shawty want to be a thug. No, you a punk. You a punk. So gays. So, he using the Crips. Therein started down a criminal path. As for his education, is unknown. What do y'all know? What do y'all know? Is unknown. Little piece of almost got his GED. Yeah, little piece. And y'all niggas run around listening to him. Little piece of got his GED almost. Look, I almost got my GED, mother. So little piece of idiot. A little piece of dropped out in the 5th grade. A little bit of are you smarter than a 5th grader? Just a little piece. A little piece of thought about high school but didn't go. Get a little piece of walk past colleges, but besides going into P real quick, never. A little piece. A little piece of I didn't join the Bloods because they stole my chain. A little piece of I'm a Crip because I'm a punk. A little piece. But y'all following him. Like, he keep go right ahead. I'm sure he the realest to ever do it. Okay. Because he got 4 wives, but go off. As for his education is unknown which school he went to, but it is unlikely that he ever finished high school due to the fact that his gang membership consumed most of his time. So he also pursued a college education. Also never, my fault, never pursued a college education. So how was the cruise taking up all your time? How long did it take you to get your chain back? How long did that take? Oh my God. Like it took your whole high school career to get that chain back? You was a punk. Oh my word. It took like, you should have got that back like a couple of days. So gang activity. Early imprisonment after an unspecified amount of time in the gang, Polight managed to build an image of a capable superior for himself and was thus assigned men under his own guidance. However, it didn't take too long for him to get noticed by the authorities, especially due to his promotion. Approximately at the age of 18, Polight was arrested and charged in prison for a weapon possession and assault. It is unknown how much time he spent incarcerated. Do y'all know? Time he spent incarcerated, but the closest estimate suggests that it didn't last more than a few years. So he'd have been in jail. He know that lot. Before his career, the teachings, Polight evidently came up with a plan during his imprisonment, since he opened an organic restaurant not long after being discharged from the correctional facility. Where he got the finance from is unclear. So you just get out of prison after a stint and just open up a whole restaurant, just like right away. Okay. Alrighty then. Y'all hit the like, please. Okay. Organic restaurant not long after being discharged from the correctional facility. Where he got the finances, they got the S, from is unclear. He also signed up for private lessons about lifestyle and eating habits by Dr. Sadie, who is a popular Afro-Latin. Is it? Is he? I thought he was, whatever. Health and medicine. Wait, he's from Honduras. So I think, right? Is he from Honduras? Medicine holistic coach. Polight was also a diabetic at the time, and Dr. Sadie managed to permanently cure that. Okay, so he said he went to Dr. Sadie, and Dr. Sadie cured him of diabetes. Okay, is what that word. So, career beginnings, the guru of a lost religion. As Polight was garnering knowledge about mysticism and various nearly extinct medical practices and a range of religions, he began speaking about how his experiences and what he learned. He was also insistent on supporting minority groups that focused on the empowerment of African Americans in the U.S. This led to him eventually meeting, it should say meeting, but it's a meet, Dwight D. York, a former spiritual leader, also known as Dr. Malachi York, who created the now notorious Nuwabin, a school of Kemetic science, which Polight is still a member today. So I hear a lot about Polight and this Kemetic science. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're about to tell us. What is Kemetism? Is that how you say that? Kemetism? The name Kemet is the name ancient Egyptians themselves used for their. Now he looked ancient. He looked ancient. The name Kemet is the name ancient Egyptians themselves used for their nation, as the word Egypt and Egyptus, is that how you said that? Egyptus, ancient Greek, is the word Greeks used, and that's how the majority knows it today. Also known as Kemeticism, or Natirism, is that how you say that? Kemetism is the ancient Egyptian religion encompassing all of the somewhat famous deities, such as Amun-Ra, Anubis, Isis, Basset, is that how you say that? and or Horus, to name a few. Unlike most religions, Kemetism has very new guidelines, and thus there isn't much of a rule set to follow for those who wish to properly worship the ancient Egyptian gods. Another notable distinction between Kemetism, and most other religions is that it actually recognizes the existence of all other gods. Anybody get any of that? Anybody get any of that? Shout out to the Kemetisms, them. I don't disrespect nobody religion. If that's what people believe in, shout out to y'all. But he giving our religion a bad name. So yeah. So this is what he specializes in, Brother Polight. And I want to make sure I'm saying it right because I don't want to be disrespectful. Kemetism. Kemetism? I hope I'm saying that right. These are foreign words to me. And so I hope I'm saying that right. So yeah, so this is what he specializes in. Okay. Yeah. So let's keep going. What does Nuwabian? Oh Lord, Nuwabian? I hope I'm saying that right. Mean. Okay. The word Nuwabian is exclusive to the whites religious group. Through Brother Polight seems to have created something of a language. Okay, so so Nuwabian is a language. That's a language. So like something like saying like Spanish, it's Nuwabian, and that's in Kemetism. There is a language called Nuwabian. Is that how you say that? Nuwabian? So he speaks Nuwabian. I'm just trying to hope I'm saying it right. Thank you. Simply put, they believe the Egyptian Kemetan gods are emanations of the higher one God. Okay. So although they believe in deities, they also believe in, well, not believe, but acknowledge all other gods. I don't know. But shout out to y'all. And Chris said, you're saying it right, Sean. LOL. If the religion was more reader friendly, we might read it more. LOL. Love you. Keep on. Thank you. Because I'm trying not to, because people believe, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all whatsoever. Just because I don't like Brother Polight, they don't have nothing to do with what he practices, because a lot of other people practice it too. So I don't want to be disrespectful, because I'm a Christian and I don't want nobody disrespecting my Lord. The baby Jesus born 7 pounds, 7 ounces, born in a manger. Won't want anybody disrespecting my baby Jesus. So I'm here flip. So yeah, so they believe in fallen angels. Oh, okay. Like Gabriel, and stuff like that. But because Horus wasn't a fallen god, was he? He was like an Egyptian deity, if you will, and like the almighty Isis, and whatnot. So yeah, yeah. So let's keep going. So Nuwabian, that is a language. Okay, that is a language. Oops, that is a language. It absolutely is. Seems to have been created something of a language, which he took the opportunity of calling Nuwabian. Okay, so he made up Nuwabian, or was that like here before? Or was that here before? Because I want to know. I'm nosy. So it's like I want to know everything. Okay, Dr. York did. Okay, that makes complete sense. Because it says it here with Dr. York. Okay, so that makes complete sense. Okay, cool. All right, okay, so Aside from that, there is almost no information on what this word is supposed to mean. Lastly, a aforementioned group is also sometimes referred to as Nubian Nation and the Nubian Nation of Moors. Okay, so I'm sure this is cool. Ooh, ugly as hell. So why are they notorious? In 2002, Dr. York was arrested on various charges related to So again, if Dr. York, and again, I'm not saying this don't have nothing to do with the religion, but the same person that taught Polight, Dr. York was arrested on various charges related to harassment and CH0M0 charges, conspiracy, racketeering, fraud, and even RAPE. So the same man that taught him, allegedly, or the main person that he got his practices from, which is not Dr. Sabi, that's just somebody he studied with, allegedly, to get his diabetes cured, Polight. You are getting charged with the same things. They're also calling Polight a scammer and all of that in the streets. They're also saying that Polight scammed a lot of people out of money and whatnot. So, and then again, his guru, mentor, whatever you would like to call him, is being charged with the same thing. So the charges were false. Well, again, the same person that taught him was allegedly charged with these same things, which it would be Dr. York. I don't know Dr. York's case file, but from what I've seen on Polight, it's true. Polight did what he is being charged of. He did what he's being charged of. So, I mean, hey, as soon as somebody's mentioned of something, people are quick to exonerate them from it. I'm not saying that it's true. I'm not saying anything on Dr. York. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, again, in Dr. York's case, they may have been false charges. Again, I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, Dr. York did it. No, I'm not going to say that. But I will say that Polight did. Oh, Polight did it. Now, let's not even merge the two together, because the charges are completely different and there are two different people being charged with said things. So again, Dr. York could be innocent. I'm not going to say he is guilty, but Polight is guilty. Now that I'm not willing to argue. That I'm not anybody about to convince me of the other. So I don't want to hear any of that, because we're going to get into that next. But yeah, Polight, guilty. Guilty is charged. Guilty is sin. Now, again, Dr. York could be innocent. Could be. But Polight? No. You're guilty. You're guilty, buddy. Oh, yeah. You're guilty. So please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. So let's keep going. So yeah, I'm not gonna throw anything on Dr. York. Shout out to Dr. York. But when it comes to Polight, guilty. I don't know. There ain't gonna be nothing to argue about. So yeah. So according to the admissions of various previous members of the White's organization, he wasn't simply a spiritual leader. He also had various hidden agendas. York underwent a long court process while in custody, which lasted until January 23rd, 2004. He was sentenced to 135 years in prison without parole. This, of course, gave his group a very bad reputation, and they are most likely disliked by general public even today. Okay, so again, when it comes to Polight, him coming from that is definitely going to, because it still stains the name, whether the person is innocent or guilty. But with Polight, I'm saying he does not help if people did want to try to exonerate Dr. York, because Polight did it. So you're not helping. Like you're making this worse, and you're throwing people's names out there that, like Dr. Sabi, Dr. York, and whatnot, as people who help you gain the understanding or the knowledge that you're going around, the rhetoric that you're going around with, and then doing the things that you're doing. So I don't know. But please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. So yeah, Dr. York sentenced to 135 years. So what does Polight mean? Regarding his artistic name, Polight is an acronym for pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallantry, honesty, and trust. It is unknown why he came up with this name and started using it, but it surely happened before his rise to fame. And the general public has basically never heard of Michael Novak. Nowak. Sorry. Did I say Novak? Nowak. So yeah, so let's keep going. Let's get into, so that's a little background on who he is. He's like a guru, if you will, with eating and, you know, among other things, kind of like a nature boy without being as gross. So yeah, and like a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker arrested for February assault of teen in Miami Beach. Okay. Now, Tasha K was one of the first people to come forward and break this story. What was this, 2021? Yeah, 2021. So, yeah, about 2 years ago, Tasha K came forward with an exclusive of Brother Polight being arrested. And let's get into what he got arrested for. The alleged victim is the daughter of a woman, Michael Nowak, 37, which is AKA Brother Polight, was romantically linked to, according to police. So let's get into, is this the, yeah, let's get into it. So this was on the news. So let's get into this clip of the news.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer, motivational speaker, is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl.
Now, this 14-year-old girl that this happened to, he was romantically linked to her mother. So Polight was dating this 14-year-old lady, young girl, dating her mom, okay? And this happened in Miami Beach in 2021. Brother Polight, let's keep listening.
Did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Now, this is the man that he keep going around trying to threaten everybody with. Polight, okay, you are ugly, but no one's afraid of this man. No one's afraid of your lawyer. Like, we don't care that you're trying to bury anybody that talk about this, because now it's coming up for you to be charged. So yeah, you allegedly SA'd that 14-year-old girl in that hotel room, and you're being charged with it. Now, like, now your charges is coming up to where either a plea deal is about to be offered or given, or he's going to take one. As of recently, Polight has came forward upset with media and people on like bloggers and blogs, because they're stating that he took a plea deal and he said that he did not. So, and we're going to get into that too, because we have the video of Polight coming forward trying to hoop and holler at people, and, you know, try to intimidate people to not speak on what's going on. And I feel like it's important, because you did do this. Like, you are literally guilty. So yeah, let's keep going.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report.
Now, I'm still side-eyeing her mother, because why is Polight taking your 14-year-old daughter to an after party? Like, that would have been suspect enough. Adults without me. An after party. After parties can be at a house or a hotel room, or after party isn't usually in a public place. It's usually somewhere private. It's after parties, they are. They're usually not anywhere public. They're usually somewhere private, like a nice hotel suite, or something that can fit a decent amount of people in. Like shout out to and rest in peace to Kanika Jenkins hotel party. Like that's like an after party, and whatnot. Why would you want to? Like that's what I said. I would have side-eyed, like no disrespect, but I just feel like I would have been side-eyeing him right then and there, because it's just like, well, why do you want to take my 14-year-old to? Because I have a 14-year-old. Like my daughter's 14, so and I can imagine, what happened to that poor girl, what he did to her. That I couldn't imagine. So again, I am side-eyeing the mom, at that point, because it's just like, well, why would you agree to that? This is how we prevent things, by not letting people take our kids anywhere. I don't care if he watched her to the time she was a newborn to now. I don't care. No, my baby ain't going to no party. Not where no adults are. Like, what do you mean after? Like, what? Like, no. What does she? And then why her? Like, why don't he want to take you to the after party? You grown. What? I would have sided at that immediately. I would have been like, no. Like, no, my baby don't go nowhere. I ain't going. And I don't party with my kids. So, yeah, we're not going to no after party. She's not going to no after party. No. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, we would have had, I would have had an instant problem with that. Because there's no way of meaning no harm. You have to mean some type of harm. Why do you want to be alone with my baby? What is y'all going to do together that you can't do with me? Which is exactly what he went and did. He would have never gotten away with that if she was there. He would have never done that to that young lady if her mother was present. That's why he had to separate. That's why he had to isolate. He knows you would have never let that happen because he knows you're a good mom, obviously. Because a good mom will protect her kid. So he knew you would. That's why he had to isolate her from you. Because he could do that with you being around. No, ma'am. Your influence over your daughter is 10 times more powerful than his would ever be. So you can give your daughter a look and she's going to shape up. He could give her that same look and she roll her eyes like, you ain't my daddy. What you say? You ain't my daddy. Like, but her mama, that's mom. That's Mom Duke. So you just, okay, sorry, Mom. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, your power of influence over her, he would have never been able to persuade her to do anything like that around you. Her drinking alcohol, him allegedly giving her drugs. She would have never taken any of those things if you weren't present. She would have done none of that. So again, I just find that a little weird. I'm sorry that I gotta call a thing a thing, call a spade a spade. Because again, let me rewind that part.
After party at a club in Miami. The report states Noah asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami.
After party at a club. Why would a 14-year-old need to be at an? Of course he does. He ain't getting her into no club. So of course, think about it. An after party club in Miami. She ain't getting in no bar 14 years old. It's gonna be hard to get her in. I mean, you polite, but it ain't like you Beyonce to where your whole entourage is just gonna let in. They ain't gonna card y'all nothing. Yeah, just come on. You polite. They stopping you. They carding you. You ugly. Is the reason they card you, and they gonna card her too. Because a 14-year-old still look young, like younger than 21, especially. Like there ain't too many 14-year-olds pulling off 21. So not. I mean, some can, but it ain't too many of them that's doing that. So yeah, like. You tried. You knew something had to have told you that he is lying to you. That's why she never went to no club or anything like that, because that was never on the agenda. He took her to where he already had set up, the hotel. That ain't no club. And then again, she still shouldn't have been going to no club. Like, what is she going to a club for? The only club my 14-year-old can go to is, it better say boys and girls in front of it. And she could barely go there. And she could barely go there. And that's the only club a 14-year-old need to be going to. It's the Boys and Girls Club. Other than that, it's the Boys and Girls Club downtown Miami open this time of night. Because, yeah, my baby ain't going, no. And it's weird that you want to take her. She ain't your date. Like, what did... I see you want to take her to Chuck E. Cheese. Take her to a movie. And I'm hesitant on that. I don't know about all that. You want to take her to the mall. I'm hesitant about that. And them public places. So it's just like, yeah, like, that's why I'm like, man, what were you thinking? Not to blame you, because what he did is only his fault. You don't, only accountability you have to take is letting her go at all. That's your accountability as a parent. As hard as that can be, you have to be accountable for it. You have to, otherwise it's going to eat at you forever. So it's like, what did he ask you while you were intoxicated, or something like that? Like, I just wonder, like, how did that conversation go? How did that go?
The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately.
So in the hotel room, he was feeding her alcohol, and I know the drink of choice, all of that stuff. And not only was he feeding her alcohol, he was also feeding her other things. And he made her like stand up and dance, and whatnot, and dance with him. And then he started touching her in certain places while having her drink. A 14-year-old girl, this poor girl.
Groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
So during this duration, I believe the young lady passed out because she probably couldn't believe what he was doing to her. Like, you're supposed to be like my stepfather. What are you doing to me? I think she was confused. I think that she is not a drinker or anything like that. I mean, she's 14. She shouldn't be. So, and then coerced her and tried to force her into HEO. She passed out, I believe, during, again, because that'd be very traumatic. Passed out during, and he didn't stop. Like, he kept going and whatnot. And when she woke up, when she came to, he was trying to force her to regurgitate in the bathroom. He was like literally sticking his fingers down her throat, trying to force her to regurgitate. Now, most people think that he was just trying to get her to regurgitate to get the alcohol and out of her system. But I don't think it was just that. I think he was doing that also to try to make her get rid of his DNA, because his DNA was all over her shirt and clothing. His DNA was all over her, like literally all over her. That's why I'm like, you are guilty. Like, your DNA all over her. None of your DNA should be on her, and it's inside. So it's not like it's, because I touched your hand, my DNA on your hand now. No, all due to men. So all over her and her clothing. So it was all over her clothing, it was over her body too. So, and he made her, while she was passed out, perform Shia on him. So that's what I'm saying. I do not believe that he was just trying to get her to regurgitate the alcohol and whatnot. I think he was trying to get her to regurgitate more than that, because I don't know why.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It
Severe swelling on the 14-year-old's mouth and lips. Forced. So that means you forced her. I believe I don't think that she fell asleep. I think she passed out. I think she literally passed out. And then what he gave her, he never intended to do anything to her awake. It was always intended, in my eyes, for her to be unconscious why it happened, so that she didn't remember anything. He didn't want her to remember it. And where he messed up was making her dance and stuff like that, touching on her, because those are things that you're going to remember, before you go into whatever state you're going into. That's why her falling asleep or passing out, she remembers nothing besides when she came to. And when she came to, she was being forced to regurgitate. So the bruising, the swelling, the bruising to her mouth and face, and whatnot, did not just come from the R word, him R-wording her. It did not just come from that. It also came from him forcing his fingers in her mouth and forcing her mouth open and forcing his fingers down her throat. So it's swelling in the back of her mouth too. So the swelling wasn't just due to what he did to her while she was unconscious. The swelling was also him forcing his fingers in her mouth, and with her being unconscious, he don't know that he's going too far back and stuff, damaging. He could damage her tonsils, like all types of, swollen. I'm like, poor thing. Like, that is so sad. And he feels like he's just gonna get away with it. Like, no, you did this to this girl. This happened. And the only reason he didn't go further is because her mom kept calling him. Like, where are you? Where is she? And that's the only thing that stopped him. He knew she was coming because he let her know where they were. And that's how she found her. So, and then him trying to cover it up. No, there's no covering it up. Why is my 14-year-old intoxicated with you? You are with her. There's visibly alcohol here, and you want me to think that nothing happened? That you didn't do nothing to her? Her face is swollen. She's intoxicated. She's rambling. I have no idea really what she's saying, because the poor girl was probably just so distraught by what just happened to her, by somebody that she's supposed to trust. So this is heavy, and he making it seem like it's not a big deal. I think he's making it not a big deal because this is the first time it happened. I feel like he's done this to other people. And yeah, he was just getting away with it before. This time he got caught. So there is no paying them for silence and things like that. It's too late.
later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation. And Nowak claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in Miami Beach. Kim Nguyen, NBC 6 News.
So there you have it. Her mother, he begged her not to call the police. Yeah, because we're going to keep covering this. Oh, we absolutely are. Absolutely. So he's behind bars. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So you have the basis of what happened. But I found something very interesting. Now, I was looking at this pro-Black consciousness or pro-Black opportunism on Brother Polight's R-word case, okay? So I saw recently, and shout out to, is it Demo Whale, medium.com? Shout out to them. So it says, I saw recently that Brother Polight, who is being charged with CH0M0, his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter, is going to plead guilty to the offense. The whole situation is unfortunate. If Brother Polight is indeed guilty, and from what I have read, his semen was found on the victim's clothes, it would not be a complete surprise to me. It is not that I never believed that Brother Polight was the type of man who would N-word children. It's that I always found Brother Polight to be a bit off in the way he treated women. And I agree. So I was reading a post, which is right here from Brother Polight, and I found it very intriguing. Now, look at this. This is one of his wives. He says, this is Brother Polight, March 28th, 2021, the same year that he got popped for CH0M0. He says, we were together since 12 and 13 years old. You grew into your woman body in ways I would have never imagined. Sheesh. So it's like he goes back to her being 12 and 13, and it gives me that was when he was most attracted to her. Because why talk about who grew into your body and all? You're showing attraction towards that age. So to me, it makes sense that you would be caught in a hotel situation with this 14-year-old girl. That's what you like. You like that. You like it. You like girls that are that age, that look, that the innocence, the everything about it. Like, you like everything about it. Like, you're weird. Because again, what does going back to her being 12 and 13, her 12 and 13-year-old body, what does that have to do with anything? If you're just simply saying, hey, you could have simply just said, no, we've been known each other since we was 12, 13. And oh my, and you still, just as beautiful as you are when I met you, or something like that. I mean, I don't get him specifying about her being 12 and 13 and her body at that point in time. It gives that you're attracted to that. That's what you like. Because we speak truth in the things that we say. There's a little bit of truth behind even every joke. There, even joking, a dude sitting there joking about doing something with a minor or something like that. There's a little bit of truth to what that person's saying, meaning there may be some attraction if they can even think of minors in that way or bring them up in that way, to be able to look at a 13-year-old like, yeah, she may be 13, but she's hot. That's weird. And that's what Polight gives. Like, you see a little 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12-year-old walk past, coming into their body, he views them attractive. He likes it. He likes that about them. And it's more so of said innocence and being control of it and being able to take it away. Because when you see someone young, you know that there's a lot of first that they haven't had. A lot of them. So that innocence right there is what a lot of these chomos and whatnot and R-worders, this is what they feed off of. They feed off the innocence. Don't have anything, because they could be with a grown woman, but they choose not to, because that innocence is gone. There's no innocence to somebody that's 19. There's no innocence to somebody that's 22, 23, 30, 40. The innocence is gone. So that's why you will see a lot of older men, especially older women too, but more so older men, that will date younger women that are being like their 60s, 50s, and will have like an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. It's the closest they can get to innocence without getting in trouble. And if they could go younger, they would. Again, they probably have. But this is I have to keep it legal. They get as close to the age as they can. So a lot of them will, be sugar daddies and whatnot too, like little 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, because of the innocence, that they feel like I'm a lot of your first. So it's a power that they want to feed on. And I think that Polight did the same thing with this young lady. Her innocence. He knows everything about her, so he knows that she is innocent. And a person like Polight has a very unhealthy relationship with women. That's why a man, to me, that feels like he needs women in abundance, knows that he's a piece of shit. Literally. I mean, you know you are. You don't believe in monogamy, or anything like that. If a person has 4 wives, why would he not be sleeping with people besides those 4 people? So if you'll cheat on 1 woman, you'll cheat on 4. It's not, I have 4 women, so I stick here and I don't go nowhere else. It's just, no, you do. Polight is taking pictures with hundreds of women on boats and stuff. They've been all of that. All of that. This is the same person that'll sit here and say, because it's the pandering for me. Right here, he says, "Thank you for 23 years of service, dedication, and patience with me. The Black woman is my God." Who are they? Who are they? Who are they? I see one Black woman, but okay, who are they? In the same breath, it's the pandering for me. You don't need to pander. You can just like women, like in general. It don't have to like stop trying to cape to women that you're not interested in. Like you're literally not interested in them. Like you're really not. Like these are a woman like her, as beautiful as she is. She's more so of like a charity case, if you will. He uses her to make other women that look like her, that will support him and do certain things for him, feel like he's attainable to her, that he's reachable, he's gettable, when he really has no interest. He doesn't really have any interest at all, but right, as bait. Absolutely, because he has no interest in them. If anything, he has interest in what they have to offer. Whether it's a child, or something like that. I mean, a teen girl, or something like that. Honestly, yeah. So he uses them, to bait, other women, the other Black women in. He couldn't care less. Like, here's his type. Like, here's his type. And I mean, there's plenty more. There's plenty more. Like, I mean, he will literally show you who his type is. Like I said, these women are pawns. They are used as bait. So yeah, because he could care less. But let's keep going. Absolutely, let's keep going. What's next? Because we definitely got to dissect. Brother Polight is finished. Will plead guilty to M-word of a minor. Okay, now let's get into this. All his charge.
Well, it looks like I was right again. Brother Polight, also known as Michael Nowick, has pled guilty. Yes, you heard me correctly. Brother Polight has pled guilty to one, if not all, of these charges listed right here on the screen. Over 2 years ago, he was accused of...
So Polight, I'm not saying you pled guilty to an alleged plea deal. The internet is saying that you have pled guilty to doing what you did to this minor, to this young Black girl that you have destroyed. That you have destroyed. The family that you have destroyed. Yeah, I'm not saying that. The internet is saying that. Y'all, please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like.
Of having inappropriate dealings with a 14-year-old. And y'all came on here and y'all called me a coon, an agent, and a self-hating Black man. Well, not only is your big homie a scammer, thief, and a liar, but now your big homie is a chomo. Don't believe me? Let's get to the footage with this attorney entering into the plea deal.
For the record,
David Harris on behalf of the defendant, Michael Nowak.
okay, here we go. And
Hold on, I think there's more. Hold on. So, Brother Polight's attorney entered a plea deal for him. Okay? Right here. Now it says, good news. Brother Polight, aka Michael Eugene Nowak, is going to prison for sexually A-wording a 14-year-old child. July 7th, he will be in Miami-Dade court to accept his plea deal. Finally, justice is being served in the Black community for these P-words and scammers. Hashtag Brother Polight. All right, now let's listen. Oops, hold on. This sorry. So yeah, so on the 7th, he allegedly was supposed to go in and turn himself in. Well, not just turn himself in. Enter and accept the plea deal because they've suspended sentencing for 60 days to let him live it up a little bit. a little. So he had to surrender his passport Friday, and he will return September 6th for sentencing. But girl, Black Girl Magic, little girl, he said, hold on, let's get into Polight. Let's get into Polight, because Polight says that there is no plea deal. You know, I would never, say that I'm guilty to something like that. Just ugly as hell. So let's get into that. Here go, look.
Some popular rumors that have been spread to rectify the matter. There's been a rumor spread. There's two main rumors that's been spread. But the main rumor is that I had pled guilty. So let me clear up the two things that need to be addressed. Did I make a plea? There's been no plea.
So you see what I'm saying? See why I'm confused? Because he said there is no plea deal. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. He said there is no plea deal. So I'm confused.
Did I plead guilty to child molestation? Never did. So the people that are spreading this rumor, I'm asking you out of respect to my family, respect to my wives, respect.
You should have respected all of those people by not doing what you did to that 14-year-old girl. So we don't care about your family. We don't care about your wives. We don't care about none of them. All of y'all, as far as I'm concerned. Only person I am concerned about and respecting is that 14-year-old girl, her mother, and their family. Now, I respect them, but you will get no respect. Know what you thought this was? Like, yeah, no one cares. Like, I don't care what's your family. Oh, well, your wives. Because they all basic for sticking around anyway. You ain't getting charged on nothing like that. And I'm with you. I don't care even if it's polygamy. Bye. Bye. Well, this was cute. But yeah, I can't be around nothing like that. Oh, no. Oh, no. I can't be around nothing like that. No, ma'am.
To my children, because you clearly hate me. And you clearly hate me more than you have any love for another child. So I ask you guys to respectfully stop spreading rumors. I never made a plea, and I never pled to no damn child molestation. So no matter how much you want to believe it, no matter how.
Now, he said none of that is in existence. Hold on, what time is we at? We at the 105 mark. Okay, let's pull this back up because he said there is no charges. Although his attorney is recorded entering the plea and all of that, entering the plea deal, all of that. But he swears. He swears. Look. He says that there is no charges. Then what is this? And then it stated that he goes back to court. What was that? September 6th? For sentencing? So that means you took the deal if they're sentencing you, because they wouldn't be sentencing you without a trial if you didn't take the plea. If you didn't take the plea deal or enter a plea, then that means if you're waiving your right to plea, then it would have went to trial. It's not going to trial. There's no trial date, or anything like that. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're lying. You're going to jail. You absolutely are. You're going to jail, dude. And you're going exactly where you're supposed to be. You ruined that girl's life. And you tried to pay her mother for silence? Like, I'm so glad her mom did not. Yeah, I'm just glad she did what she needed to do.
I never made a plea, and I never pled to no damn child molestation. So these two things need to be rectified right now. There are no pleas on my behalf, and I have not pled to no damn child molestation. So please stop the freaking rumors. The last thing I'm going to address very quickly. This means that people are lying. If I was lying, you'll be able to find something that contradicts what I'm saying.
Not a problem. Hold on. Find something to contradict what you're saying. Why not? We ain't doing nothing now. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? You want to play? Let's play. Huh?
Well, it looks like I was right again. Brother Polight, also known as Michael Nowick, has pled guilty. Yes, you heard me correctly. Brother Polight has pled guilty to one, if not all, of these charges listed right here on the screen. Over 2 years ago, he was accused of having inappropriate dealings with a 14-year-old. And y'all came on here and y'all called me a coon, an agent, and a self-hating black man. Well, not only is your big homie a scammer, thief, and a liar, but now your big homie is a chomo. Don't believe me? Let's get to the footage with this attorney entering into the plea deal.
For the record,
David Harris on behalf of the defendant, Michael Nowak.
Okay, thank
Here we
you.
go.
And
What?
He said, entering the plea on behalf of my client, Michael Nowak. So your attorney's lying too? Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. Polight, you're finished. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. And you don't get to plead guilty to, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can say that you're innocent, you know, to certain things. But if you saying that you're guilty of certain things on this list, then you're guilty of all of it. So like, you're not going to say count 1, count 2, I'm guilty of, but count the count 3 and 4 that you have on me, I didn't do those. You know what? Like, no, you did. You did. And you R-worded her. Like, it's what you did. It goes beyond the N-word. Like, you didn't get a chance to do none of that stuff to the girl, to groom her. You didn't get a chance to. You just drugged her, basically, and then just took advantage. That's R-word. Yeah. You try.
Well, it looks like I was right again. Brother Polight, also known as Michael Nowick, has pled guilty.
Has pled guilty. So let's get back into him because he swore up and down. We don't know what we're talking about. We sitting over here lying on him. He ain't filed anything. There's nothing no one can find to contradict what he is saying. You know, or any of that. It's like you're lying. Like the court records is, and even the court date was, I believe, the court case. Shut up, fly. Was done online. So I mean, someone had it for it to be being played. So yeah, I'm just like, no, you're lying. You absolutely are. But let's keep listening because he's sweating down. Everybody lying on him. Okay.
It doesn't work like that. I ain't paid 6 figures for a defense, for me to be out here speaking on my own behalf during a wild ass situation. Now the white man is the goddamn devil to you guys all the damn time.
So if you paid all this money for this defense, why are you speaking on it? You shouldn't be speaking on it at all. Because you literally filed a plea. Like you did. You entered a plea deal. Your lawyer did it on your behalf. So what are you talking about? Like none of this makes sense. And it's July. The plea day was in June. That was in June. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so him threatening to sue people, who are you suing when this happened? You did answer. Then you came live trying to make it seem like, oh, everybody's lying on you. No one's lying on you. Nobody lying on you. This is why you're mad, because you're going to prison and you're upset.
Time every day around the week until he says something about someone that disagrees with your religion or your politics. Lastly, before I get off this live, I just want to address the likes of this guy, just finding out who he is. Hold on. Who's this guy? What's this guy's name? I'm trying to get it clear. Hold on. Just get it clear. Okay, got it. This guy's name is supposed to be Tony the Closer.
Shout out to Tony the Closer, because Tony the Closer did not lie. He was telling the truth. You're lying. You're lying. It just wasn't as public before Tony the Closer came out with it, but he didn't lie on you. Like he did not. You're literally sitting here lying just like you lied to that woman's face about what you did to that young lady. And we're going to go on a coffee after. We're going to do a quick station head, and then we're going to go over to coffee. And I'm going to read everything that happened. Like, I'm going to tell y'all everything. Because, we know everything. Everything that happened that night. It's just really explicit for YouTube. But we are going to go to coffee, and we're going to read that before we get into some other things, because we're going to get into some other stuff on coffee. But that's going to be the first thing we discuss, is that. Because a lot of people, they have an idea of what he did to that young lady, but they need to know. And the reason y'all need to know is just so people like him can be canceled. This needs to be normal. It needs to be normalized. Stop looking at a monster's color of skin. It's weird. It's weird. He literally destroyed a 14-year-old black girl's life. Why do you care more about his image than you care about her trauma? I don't understand that. And I'm talking to black women, because a lot of black women support this man. So it's hard to talk to other nationalities and races and whatnot, because they're not supporting him. Y'all are. And I'm not talking about the people that don't support him. I'm talking about the ones that do. How can you in good faith support this man knowing what he did to that 14-year-old girl? Literally, who has no voice. He lied loud and wrong, saying, I would never agree to that. I would never do that. Basically, re-traumatize her all over again, calling her a liar. Why is she a liar? She was 14. She was intoxicated. Her mother couldn't even get a hold of her on her phone. And all of that. She blowing you up. You didn't say anything about taking her to no hotel. That's why she would have been looking for the club before the hotel, because you never even said anything about a hotel. You never said that at all. So her life has been ruined. So why is it that y'all, it seems that most of you care more about protecting his image than you care about the trauma that he gave that girl? He destroyed her. It's been 2 years since, and it's still not over. So it's like a reoccurring nightmare every time she sees this fly on the screen. Every time somebody uplifting the person that destroyed you. Like, that's crazy. Like, it should be easy to not support somebody like him. It shouldn't even take much thought. Because there's no question if he's guilty or innocent when he's entered a plea deal as guilty. He's telling you yourself, and y'all still don't want to accept it. That's why I call y'all mammies and pappies. Because y'all still don't want to accept it. It has nothing to do with the religion. Nothing. Nothing. You don't get the, because a lot of y'all will correlate with that as well. His teachings and the things that he would say, if I believe that he did that, then no, because there's plenty of pastors and priests and stuff that have done all type of things in the Christian community, and I still have my thing. I still have it. Now, I may not support the person that was supposed to be my mentor, that was leading the flock. I may not support that person anymore, but I'm going to still join the flock. I'm still going to be a part of the flock. You know, I'm never going to expect man to do what God can do. Man is going to sin and make mistakes, so I don't expect perfection, because you'll be let down every time. So a lot of y'all expect perfection out of these people. A predator has no face. Anyone could do that. Anyone. Anyone. Literally. So it's not he looks like he wouldn't do that. What? How does the person look like they wouldn't do something? That doesn't even make any sense. There's been no one that walked into a school and did anything to anybody that a person was like, you know what? I wouldn't have saw that. When people take their own lives, they're like, I wouldn't have saw. Pain has no face. A predator has no face. A murderer has no face. A R-worder, no face. An M-word or a chomo, no face. It could be anybody. It's not if they look like this, then they know. It could be anybody. Literally. It could be somebody that just is gorgeous. You could look at that person like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. They would never do that. Oh, he's so handsome. He would never do that. He doesn't have to do that. Look how handsome he is. He can have anyone. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. It has no face. Pain has no face. Depression has no face. Okay, criminals, they have no face. Anybody can be it. That's why you have to be wary of everyone, even family, all of that. Oh, that's my family. I couldn't see them doing it. They'd be the first ones. A lot of times when people are hurt, it starts with the family before outsider even have a chance to do something to you. It's already happening within the home or a home you go to or someone you relate to. So, I mean, like, yeah, it has no face. So just be very weary. Just everybody around you. Trust no one. Nobody, not even your own children. not even that. Just don't trust nobody. Because you just never know. So yeah, I just think that this is, it's really crazy to me that he should have no support, none whatsoever. I just don't get what you would be supporting. His DNA was found all over the young lady's clothing. There was visible bruising and whatnot to her face and mouth. There were pictures and whatnot taken, all of that. Like, he literally did this to her. It's no joke. It's not there's no innocence about this. Because if there was a chance that Polight was innocent, I would speak on it. I absolutely would. I would speak on it. And I would be like, you know what? ... But no. From the phone call to her mother saying there's a party at the club and I'm trying to say, no. I blame him. You planned all of that. It was deliberate. It was on purpose. You meant to do everything you did to that young lady and you are not sorry. That is why you are saying here that you would never say that you're a chomo, or did anything like that. I would never plead guilty, to end of that stuff. Yeah. Because you're not sorry. You're not sorry at all. Because if you enter the plea deal, then that means that you plead that you're guilty. So with you being guilty, then you should be more apologetic. Then that's why you're so loud and that's why you're so mad. Because you're wrong. So you're loud and wrong. You absolutely are. And you're tired of dealing with it. But how are you tired of dealing with your sin? Like, you didn't have to do that to that girl. You didn't have to do that to her. That was a choice. Okay, so deal with it. Deal with the cancellation. No, because I'm not letting him get away with that. This needs to be talked about. I need enough people talking about it for me. And shout out to all the people that are talking about it because it needs to be discussed. That young lady needs to know that there's people out here that got your back. Like, girl, we know what happened to you and it should happen. It would never, a part of that was your fault. Nothing was your fault. Nothing. You get intoxicated, nothing. You trust him to take you. None of that was your fault. None of it. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't. That was being with somebody that's supposed to be your stepfather and encouraging you to drink and stuff like that. He know all of these things are wrong. If he wouldn't have handed her any of that stuff or did any of that stuff, she would have never did it. I mean, the pressure of him saying, oh yeah, drink this. And it's like, that's what I said, it had to be very traumatic for her. Because it's just like, why is he handing me liquor? Like, why does he want me to drink this? Okay, I will. Because she didn't drink enough alcohol to have been trashed. So that's why she was visibly, because she didn't even drink enough alcohol for that. Her alcohol count wasn't even low. It wasn't, she was, if anything, slightly inebriated. But she wasn't like, no, she didn't drink enough for that. And she's 14. So she's a kid, little friend and whatnot. It ain't gonna take much, to get her intoxicated no way. Especially somebody that ain't never drink, that don't drink, ain't they haven't, it don't take much. It really don't, especially some hard liquor. It was like beer or something, that could take a while. But hard liquor, it's gonna take no time at all. And I think that that's why he her, because he never planned on doing anything to her awake. I think that I'm actually, because I don't want to say I'm glad anything happened to her. I'm not, but I'm glad that she's able to remember from it. So that she's not like, well, I don't know if he did this. I don't know if he did that. Because a lot of the stuff she was passed out for. So, but her remembering him caressing her and touching, I'm glad she remembered that because then that let her body know, it alerted her body, even with her passing out because it gave her something to remember. So if he wouldn't have touched her, or whatnot, and then just waited for her to pass out, then it's a higher chance that it will be way less that she remembered. But she remembered him dancing with her and telling her to dance and, and touching her, so she had some highlights that helped her remember. But again, if she was just sitting there drinking, that's what she would have said. Well, I was sitting there, we were drinking, and then I just woke up and Because then he could have told her, you drank too much, and I was trying to, because that's what he said. Oh, she drank too much, so I was trying to get it out of her system, and whatnot. She probably thought that's all that would have happened. But her knowing what he was doing to her prior, the lead up, and how probably uncomfortable she felt, I feel like that sat with her. And I think when he tried to do other things, so that's why she passed out. I don't think the drug took full effect to knock her out completely. Because I think from the testimony, it seems as if she was going in and out like for a minute, and then it kind of she was just out, So it's not much that she remembers, but she does remember him removing his clothing and doing certain things to her. She remembers that. She does. So yeah, and the DNA all over him, and he's so cocky. He submitted the DNA test and whatnot like it was gonna come back negative. Like, no, it was positive, and it was all over her. So yeah, he tried it. He absolutely tried it. Like, you are a horrible, despicable person.
Right? So this Tony the Closer guy, this Tony the Closer guy, he posted this. Brother Polight pleads guilty to molesting a 14-year-old child. It's a complete lie. So people reached out to him via the same post that he posted. Okay, hold on. Let's get you guys in tune. He posted this. His name's right there. Tony the Closer. You see that? Tony the Closer. I don't even, just find out who this dude is. His name is Tony the Closer. So he posted that I pled guilty to molestation of a 14-year-old child. He posted that. When informed that that is character defamation, this is not true. When he was informed that this is absolutely false, there has been.
So now he's trying to say defamation, trying to throw out lawsuit words, right? Again, you filed for this plea deal. Your attorney did it on your behalf, submitted a plea deal of guilty on your behalf. Now, word on the curb is you didn't plead guilty to all of the charges. But again, if you plead to these, 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to take the other ones to trial or whatever, or trying to get them thrown out as part of the deal, is what I'm getting. I'm going to plead guilty to these things and go to jail for these things, but these I didn't do, so part of the deal will be removing those, and I just served time for them. Either way it goes, you did it. Either way it goes, you did it. So you out here trying to threaten Tasha K and Tony the Closer and others, me, and anybody else that talks about this. No one's afraid. You're going to prison. Like, you're going to prison. Everything you have is about to plummet. Yeah, God don't play by his anointed. That's why you leave children alone. You leave them alone. Their innocence is powerful. That's why innocence is powerful. You don't get to get it again. Like, and that be a lot of but a lot of these men, they get stuck in that mind frame of when they're 14, 13, 14 years old, when life was probably good for them and whatnot. So the innocence and whatnot that they got to take from people, then it's like an addiction. It's like they got used to it. But then when you age out, it doesn't mean that you're still not attracted. So he's still attracted to teens. There's still a heavy attraction there, but he's aged out of still being able to publicly be attracted to him, but he still is. And the innocence is really what pulls and draws him in. So they'll try to relive being certain ages and whatnot by being with these, younger, teenagers, and whatnot, to like the glory days, and whatnot. So it won't be like something like predatory wise where he will keep going after. It's more so of feeding a sickness, like you're ill. So it's like the medicine, if you will, because older girl, women of age aren't hacking it. It's not feeding, what you need. And it's the innocence. It doesn't have anything to do. I mean, to a degree, it has a lot to do sexually, but overall, it's more so of a mental thing. I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with their bodies, because a whole is a whole. as they say, but it's just more so what it represents, the never having done it, and things like that. So it's that is what's feeding them. Like with a lot of R-worders, they like when the women fight, because when they fight them, it's feeding that urge, like in the movie Next Friday, when he was like, I like my fishes, wet, whatever, fish out of water, like literally, it's the thrill in the chase. How a lot of men are addicted to, and women, are addicted to like dating and meeting up with different people, having as many different partners, as you can. It doesn't have anything to do, with I'm a cheater. It's just more so of the thrill in the chase. So a lot of those type of people will try to become monogamous, and it does not work for them because they like the chase. It doesn't have anything to do with, the body parts and the whole, because the whole is whole, so is it. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Just what it represents. A new person represents new, rather, it's just something new. And the same old consistent thing is not what the person wants. So they're addicted to the multiple. So they just need to be single. That's just all that word. Like, not polygamous or anything like that, because polygamy still involves commitment and being loyal. Polygamous does not mean if I want 10 people in this relationship, then I'm gonna have 10 people in this relationship. That's somebody that has an unhealthy relationship with sex. Like a person like Polight. What is the point of having 7, 8, 9 wives? What is the point? What is the point? Because to me, it's cheating. That's not having more wives, because again, it's a two-way street. So if you're going to be polygamous and then try to force a religion into it to keep the women bound, because that's what a lot of these men do. Like, let's just be honest. Like, they force the religion behind it to keep the women bound, so that they don't feel that, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. If you can have multiple wives and I can have multiple husbands, it's like, no, you can't. Due to this. Due to this, you can't. But I can have as many wives as I want, the type of situation. So it's like, to me, it's just a way of bounding them, of making them feel as if I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. So if you're telling them I'm polygamous, I have 2 wives, and you're going to be my 3rd wife, and that's it. How is the 4th wife coming? How is the 5th wife coming? How is the 6th wife? How is all of that happening? It's happening because you're an evil person. That's all. Jealous. Jealous, selfish, just individual. That's who you are, and very insecure. If you feel like the more women, the better, and it's really not, because it just adds more chaos and confusion. Things they get worse. They don't get better. The only person that gets better for is the man. So he doesn't mind, dipping his sauce in, many women in and out of them and whatnot. And whenever he gets bored with them, adds another flavor into it, because again, people are going to feel left out. They're going to feel that they're not a part, of the relationship. And again, it's an agreement, and that agreement is set in stone. But a lot of these men, I feel, are jealous, and when I mean jealous, because let the women do it too. Because a lot of these women, there's men with way more money and stuff that want to bring them into the fold and whatnot, but no, because she's already his wife, and all of that. But he gets to do what he wants. Honestly, I feel like it's just a way of restricting and controlling the women, and finding a religion, being insect. A lot of these men choose these religions, that have polygamous or multiple wives and whatnot deliberately. Like, they do it on purpose, because it's still a way of them to keep control. I can do what I want to do, and when I'm cheating, I'm not cheating. I'm courting the next wife. I'm not cheating. I'm courting the 3rd wife that I've never talked to y'all about. Okay. Alrighty, but let's keep going.
Been no plea, and I never pled to no damn child molestation. Guess what happened? He took this down, but guess what other people did? Other people reposted this as if it was a fact. So we screen recorded the video, screenshot it to make sure we knew who did it, because I got several people that kept sending this to me. So I'm like, who the hell is this Tony the Closer guy? Who is this guy? So what's crazy is he took an old video over 2 years ago and put this fake caption up here like it was true, So he entices you with the video and then puts a fake caption there. When informed that this is character defamation, you know what he did? He took the video down and put up a new one and retitled it, and it's still incorrect, says that I took a plea where there was no plea that took place.
So he's mad because Tony the Closer just didn't take it down. Say that because it's true. So why would Tony the Closer take it down and remove that you're not, when it's still true? Like, either way you flip it, like, you're going to jail. You're guilty. You did this. And you thought the little money you got was going, yeah, no, that money about to dry up it quickly. That's why you're so scared to go to jail. That's why you took a plea. So you can try to recover. And you're not going to be able to. I'm going to make sure of it.
So all you guys running around, like I just got off the phone with a brother and tried to explain to him that it's irresponsible to repost something without doing your due diligence, but he ain't want to listen. He want to take it like I'm threatening him and this, that, and the third. And I'm trying to tell the brother respectfully, you know where you got the information from?
You are low-key threatening, defamation, words like that, lawsuit. So low-key.
The dude that posted it took it down. So you could do what you want with it. You could keep it up. But I said, bro, I ain't coming at you. Other people will deal with it totally differently, meaning legally. Other people will deal with you totally differently. I'm not. I'm just telling you, good brother, this has to stop. But I can't even get through to him, and that's okay. He can live his life the way he wants. Now look at this guy right here. This is one of the goofy people that took Tommy the Closer's post, or what's his name? Tony the Closer's post. I'm going to give him the clout that he wants. This guy's called King Earner Official Page. He said, so many vouch for this kitten. He said, so many vouch for this kitten, Brother Polight. But as we see, he pled out and is going to jail for 60 days after touching his 14-year-old stepdaughter. No honor in his veins. Honor snatch. So this person now, whoever this is, talking about he snatched my honor. He's saying that I'm going to jail for 60 days for pleading guilty to child molestation. Does that even?
No, they're holding the sentencing for 60 days. So if anything, he just said it wrong, but that's where the 60 days comes in. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you're literally trying to force these people that are telling the truth to be lying on you. No. The 60 days means that the case was suspended for 60 days for your sentencing. So 60 days after your last court date, which I believe, what was it, like July 7th, July 6th or July 7th? 60 days. So, or what is it, 60? No, it was in June. June 21st, I think it was. June 21st. And so from June 21st, 60 days out, you will be back into court for sentencing. So that means that there has been no trial or anything because you admitted to guilt. So they're but okay, that was cute. You tried to change that around. That was cute.
Even makes sense. Mental health is at an all-time rise in the Black community. He said that I'm doing 60 days in prison to a plea of child molestation. Do they even give you 60 fucking days for something like that? This is the type of goofy stuff that people reaching out to me, asking me if it's true. Asking me if it's true.
It is true. It's true.
So just so I can slow it down. These are lies. And no matter how much you hate me and want to flip it and change the narrative, well, even if that's a lie, how come you don't do this? Or how come you don't say that? Or how come you don't? Yo, listen, bro. You have to be a wicked person. I don't know who this Tony the Closer guy is. I don't know who he is. Oh, that's why that shit look like that. There we go. We got it now. I was trying to figure out why it looked like that. Yeah, so I don't know who this Tony the Closer guy is, but I know about you now, and we on your body, boy. What you should have did is just apologize. My bad, I put out misinformation. Don't take this post down when crazy people like this start running with it. talking about I'm doing 60 days in prison for pleading guilty. Don't take this post down, put up a new post, retitle it, and still say that I pled when there's no plea. So again, I said this for the people that rock out with me. Didn't do this for the goofies that no matter what I say or do, they want to find a new argument, because this ain't the time for no arguments. And you Negroes aren't the people that need to be talked to, per se. But what Son is doing, he's about to be Tasha Cade. And what I'm strongly suggesting to you people out there, because I got the bread to be petty, and I'm going to be petty, trust me. Petty hour is nearing. Petty hour is nearing. I got the bread to be petty. And so what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters out there, before you cut and paste, take misinformation and run with it, because I'm going to tell you something. Calling someone a pedophile, saying someone pled guilty to child molestation, and then finding out there was no plea and I never pled to nothing like that, that is completely wrong. Now, I don't got no threats for the brother Tony.
Play this video. I think they have his attorney doing the plea deal for him in this video. To Smash Rockwell.
And I may just grant Mr. Miller's motion for continuance, okay? So we'll just pass it to the end of this calendar. Page 10, Michael Nowak.
Judge, this is Miss Megan Seraf's case, and I did reach out to her.
The private attorney was here as well. I don't know where he is now, but he was here before.
Is it Mr. Terrace?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll pass Mr. Nowak's case. Daniel Quintero, bond
What?
10.
Pass it for
So this
what?
was on for the state's response.
Hold on, I need to mute them.
He said they passed it. But it keeps going though, doesn't it? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna keep listening. I'm gonna pull him back up, and I'm gonna listen to this case while we're finishing listening to Polight Lie.
Which is all over the place, spread like wildfire, is misinformation. It's misinformation. And it's wrong to do stuff like this. And brother, whatever your issue is, you can have an issue with whatever you have an issue with on planet Earth, and that's all right. But to go out your way to misinform people about another brother and to make such egregious allegations, and then when you find out that you're in error, brother, rather than say you was in error, you simply attempt to reword it. But we screen recorded your page and we screenshot the original videos of this right here. This is what you posted. This is your name right there. Tony the Closer. This is the cloud I guess you want. You want to be part of my life. Now you're part of it, but just not the way you want to be. Brother Polight pleads guilty to molestation, to molesting a 14-year-old child. Hell fucking no, I didn't. I didn't. It's just true. And no matter how much you hope and beg and wish that I do, I ain't plead to no goddamn child molestation. And that's it. Now, I never seen a group of people fiending for somebody, hoping that someone did some shit like this. I never seen that in my life. I never seen a people hate another man so much that if it meant what they hope is the outcome, that a child was abused, that they would rather that in their hatred for a man. I would think you Negroes would be sitting here. I hope it's not true. I hope nobody got abused. No, you Negroes is here. I hope it's true because you hate me so much. Okay? And so for the goofies that's out there saying if someone accused me of something like that, I'm going to talk about it every day. It's not how the court system works. So I forgive you for your ignorance because you don't know no better. But that's it. There was no pleas made, and I never pled to no damn child molestation. Point blank, period. That's it. And you can verify that. I don't know how people can know more about my world than I would know about my world. But one thing is about it, people are so freaking weird that they will find something wrong with me clarifying that no plea has been made and I never pled to no damn child molestation. This is wrong. And for people to upload misinformation, take it down. Don't apologize for spreading misinformation as it gets into the hands of other people who irresponsibly propagate this misinformation. Then get mad at me when I attempt to check and rectify people like, hey, rectify the matter and just say, yo, please don't spread misinformation. You can spread your speculations. You can spread what you would like to believe is the case. But once you assert something as a fact that is so egregious and can implicate the lives of several people, once you realize you've done that, and clearly you knew what you was doing the first time you did the post because of the effort you made to get one video and then attach this false narrative on top of it. Clearly, we know your intention was malicious, but then after being checked about it, taking the video down and then uploading a new one and putting a new caption in there, that's still incorrect, but less egregious than the first one. Whoever you are, Tony the Closer, I'm a Tasha K. But what you can do is just apologize for first putting out the misinformation. You can reach out to the homie because I'm a good brother. And I'm not coming at you with no violence and no negativity. I don't have no malice for you. You probably just attempting to keep the clout going on your page or raise the volume of customers that come your way by keeping content on your channel. I know this is a different era since the social media era where we get paid to post things. So I just know how the YouTube streets are. I know how the Facebook streets are. I know how the Instagram streets are, the Twitter streets, the TikTok streets. I know people are doing their best to make a buck out here, and we get a little desperate sometimes. And before we even cross-reference, before we dot our I's, before we cross our T's, we go out our way and we just post irresponsibly and recklessly so we could be the first ones leading in the story. We've become the very thing that we hated in terms of the original media that existed. Okay? But that's what it is, brothers and sisters. That's a complete fact. You can't find a plea anywhere on planet Earth because there's no plea. You can't find me pleading to child molestation anywhere because no such thing exists. The people that are spreading this malicious lie obviously hate me so much that they would go out their way to misrepresent anything transpiring with me. And those are the only two things I want to talk about. There's no plea, and I never pled to no damn child molestation. Those are the two things we're talking about. Okay? That's all we're going to talk about. There's no plea. And I did not plead to no child molestation. That's it. Again, I ain't got no smoke for nobody. I'm not going to call any of you out your name that have been reposting this information, screenshotting it, running. I just want you guys to know that those of you that I know where the screenshots come from. So those of you that's posting.
Okay. I think I may have found it. Hold on. I think. Okay. Ooh, that's sidebar. Ooh, okay. I think I found it, y'all. Okay, I think I found it. Wait a second. I think I found it. Okay. I think I found. That's why I was letting him talk. I'm trying to find. Plead. Okay.
State. Anything else that we have to address, Mr. Jackson?
Judge, in exchange for the plea, as to count one, the state announces a no cross.
All right, sir. Thank you. If you have no other holds, you should be released today.
Your Honor, it's my understanding he does not have any other holds as of now, so he should be getting released today.
Right. So just give them some time to process you. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I passed a couple cases.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Rapp is present.
Yeah, Michael Nowak on page 10.
Here we go.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Harris on behalf of Mr. Nowak.
I'm sure you all are aware that there's a lot of folks on Zoom on this case.
If we may go sidebar for a moment.
Sure.
Now they sidebar. What you need a sidebar for? What you need a sidebar for? Let's keep listening. No, I'm nosing. I know I'm nosing. What's this channel name?
Why they go off camera real quick? What's
Smash
going on?
Rockwell. Smash Rockwell.
See, they asked, can we go off Zoom real quick and mute out? They muted us out. Polight got them extra lawyers doing the mute.
Mm-hmm.
And she think the people on Zoom is in support of Michael Nowak.
No.
I hope she know that. No, that ain't the
hate
case.
him.
So they went on mute on us, y'all. This is crazy. I never seen this in my whole life, even though I ain't been watching this too much. Let's see how long we stay on mute. Polight paid an extra $50,000 to get this mute.
Oh,
bro, you serious? She better come back up off mute.
I'm gonna just leave it playing until she to the good judge come back. The games, y'all. Here you go. Here you go. He said he ain't into no plea or any of that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, huh? She come on. I'm trying to see. It's a long sidebar. Hold on. Is this sidebar the whole time? Hold on.
Honor. That hella.
Okay.
To make clear that we
Cash App you right. On no more than 5 years. Who taking that chat and who holding the money in the middle? Put up the Cash App for who holding the money. Write down all the bets. We Cash App you right. Oh, here we go.
So I'll continue to pass on page 12, Mr. Pulfet, for the adjudication time served.
Yes, sir.
He's the last plea. He's the last case on calendar.
What?
There is one
I
thing
told
that
you.
we need to address really quickly on Mr. Jackson.
Man, they muted him out the whole thing.
What page was that one on?
That was on
The last page, sir. 17M. 17M.
Yes.
in reference to that, the state had filed an amended information.
It'll be reset for plea.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
To make clear that we had accepted appointment as the amended information.
and then I forgot to ask if you waived any defects. Is
Waive
that-
defects.
Thank you. All right. So back on page 10, Mr. Nowak, it'll be reset for plea. 9/6. Can we set it for 10 a.m.? Is that all right, or just?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
9/6 for 10 a.m. for plea.
Are you serious?
Terrace, you're going to take possession of Mr. Nowak's passport and then do a notice of compliance that you have it.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so it sounds like that's the plea date. So he's entering his plea on the 6th of September? Because then that's not sentencing. That's plea. But he has a plea. So he clearly wants a deal. Because he's not waiving it. So that means that he will be going straight to pretty much trial. So he's entering his plea on the 6th of September. Is correct? And that's why they removed his passport and whatnot, because he's entering a plea. So his plea is guilty, right? Because there is no entering a plea of innocence. You don't do that's what trial is for, to prove your innocence. Because you don't get to plead. I plead innocent. Like, no, your plea is you're gonna say not guilty or guilty. But you will be waiving that if you're planning on doing not guilty, because you're going to jail. Like, you did this. Like, they can prove it. Like, it's way too much evidence against you doing it. And I don't believe the young lady will testify. Do y'all think the young lady will testify? I do think her mother will, though. I do think her mother will. But the thing about it is if he's entering a plea, it's of guilty. That doesn't make sense for him to say that he's entering a plea of not guilty. That doesn't even make sense. Like, what? That's wasting time. Honestly, you're wasting time. Literally. Because to take it to trial, you're going to go to jail. And then they're going to throw the book at you. So it will be better for him to enter a plea, because once you waive it, you don't get to stop in the middle of a trial and be like, I want to enter a deal. Like, no, it's too late. It's too late. And they're going to throw the book. They're going to throw you up under the jail. You see, they gave Dr. York 195 years, 165, 195 years without the chance of parole. Grell. So, yeah. Absolutely. He's taking the plea agreement on September 6th. Because hasn't there been because the deal has been entered, right? So on the 6th, not supposed to say he can enter his own plea and the prosecutors can accept it. Correct. Nurse Lowe, correct. And so, yeah, so the prosecution can definitely say no. They can be like, yeah, no, we don't agree to that. And then that can make it go to trial too, if they don't take his deal. So, but I'm thinking whatever his plea deal is him pretty much admitting to be guilty to the majority of the charges, is what it gives, in my opinion. Yeah. Black Girl Magic said the deal is done. He's getting about 15. Right. So Black Girl Magic. So when they go in to court on the 6th of September, they're going to go over the deal, right? Because if the prosecution accepted the deal, then won't that be the court date? Ain't that what that word? And then because they could keep that private too, right? Or is that public information as well? But if there's a deal reached, then they will just go over it on the 6th. And them taking his passport, I feel like they're taking his passport because he has a guilty plea. So now want him to go nowhere. So it's like, okay, because he already pleading guilty. Right? Thank you so much, Earth Angel. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll just be so focused on putting the tea out here. I'll just be so. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Earth Angel, baby. Thank you so much. I did get it. I did. Thank you so much. Yeah. Should be public, and the deal is done. Okay. Because if you could find anything on it, please send it to me at the Shonda Way Show at IG. At Gmail and at IG. Please, if y'all send it, because I'll come live and we will talk about it immediately. We absolutely will. Melissa says Polight has to show up in open court and accept the deal. So, even if it's his deal, right, he still has to show up publicly and accept, right? Even if it's his deal, because you get to enter a plea. So I believe he entered his guilty plea. And from what is being said, the prosecution agreed with his deal. And I believe that's why they took his passport and whatnot, to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, because in September he's coming in to plea. And then after that, they will do his sentencing, right? So his next court day after the plea deal arrangement, and him entering the guilty plea, then, which he has to be at court for, like he has to physically be there. And then his next court date after that, if the prosecution and his lawyer, his defense team, agreed on the deal and is accepted, and the judge is just like, okay, cool, then the next court date will be sentencing, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Marshall said, Empowered Esquire will break it down. She's an attorney and is a reporter. Shout out to her, gays. She's done videos in the past and is planning on doing one about the recent status. Absolutely. I'm definitely gonna be over there. Shout out to Empowered Esquire. Go on, girl. I'm definitely gonna be over there. What else did I say? Chilaxon says, put an ankle monitor on him and burn that passport. Yes, he got to go. Okay, so we're at the 2-hour mark. I don't want the video. I know this will be too long. I'm going to go live on Station Head, and then after Station Head, we will jump on coffee and talk about some stuff. So absolutely. And shout out to TNJ. I saw TJ and Jack here. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the official campaign. I saw you too. And shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole. I love you all. I just be losing my train of thought when I stop and say hi sometimes, like when I'm critically thinking. And I don't want to lose my train of thought. So, but I love you, content creators. Thank you all so much for being here and supporting me. I love you guys. Shout out to all the content creators. Shout out to y'all and the subscribers and all of my moderators. I love you. So we will be live again. I'm gonna do probably a morning coffee, or if not, an afternoon show. About an update on all of this. So, because no, I'm serious. Like, no, because I feel like he's trying to sweep this under the rug and try to get away with this, and it's like, no, like that girl has to deal with that for the rest of her life. So, no, you're gonna pay. Like, you absolutely are. So, again, I love you all, and I will see y'all the next show. Oh my God, bye.